I'll turn on the image in a moment. And it's counted. All right, I got to announce on Twitter. All right, so where were we? I left myself a thing to remind me what I need to do, but I remember it. It was that I need to reorder the block types. Now, of course, there's this whole thing where the block types are currently being used to feed directly to voxel render, and maybe they shouldn't be. So there doesn't have to be a strict one-to-one correlation between what you do and what's in there. And that remapping would need to happen somewhere. And I would need to add another layer to do it. So I think I'm just going to not worry about that and still continue to do it this way. So let's have all the natural types be up here. And then have all of the things that you build start layer like that. And conveyor belt is still kind of a machine. Let's start it at 120. And then we can have stuff that you produce fall in between if it's not actually a machine. Although maybe most of the things that you produce will qualify as a machine. Yeah. If it can appear on a belt, it doesn't have to be in this table. It's only if it's placeable in the world. So let's do this, actually. Let's start machines at 50. Let's not assign these names, which will waste one slot. And let's make the picker the first machine, actually. I guess we could do that. Okay, and then where I fill out those tables, I need to change all that. So let's see, mesh builder. So it's these. And then we want to change this to be explicitly assigned. Down here. So that's geom for block type. This is just to make my life easier later. It's obviously not particularly exciting or useful for streaming, but whatever. It has to happen at some point. So then these. Oh, that's supposed to be SB box. Make geometry still. Although we're not packing anything else in here, are we? Maybe it doesn't have to be. For conveyor, up, low, up, high, down, low, down, high. Okay. Then we gotta do these. Can we just set them all to solid by default? That's how about we do that? All right, they all default to solid, except for 0. And then we just have to do these. Oops, I accidentally deleted those. Delete that. Okay. Then we copy these. Copy these. And replace geom with v height. Okay. That can just be initialized to zeros. And that we now fill out by default, so the only one that matters is the first one, and that's 0 actually anyway, but all right. Yeah, and that's what we just did. That's, and I left out the word ramp. All right. Now, if we want to have multiple speeds of conveyor belts, we'd have to make extra textures. But an alternative strategy would be to use an overlay, to use texture 2 to be the arrows, and have the arrows move. The rest of it can stay fixed or move, it doesn't matter. And then we could recolor the arrows, because the color can apply separately to the two texture layers. But we're not going to do multiple speeds right now, so who cares? These are all being set based on the block type, so that should be fine. Yeah, we don't have any more tables being filled out. This was supposed to only be one. Oh, that was a display glitch. It's going to be static now that we're not setting it from other files. This should be in the funcs. It is, okay. What else? What else is there? Nothing else would matter. If it tries to load, that'll be totally broken. I don't remember, it's still trying to load it, the old thing. Okay, so let's see if we can place stuff. It doesn't seem to actually be simulating. That doesn't, it's not letting me rotate that. Why is that not rotatable? Okay, so the range check for the picker is broken, probably. Okay, that's all that. Let's look at logistics picker. do picker before we test machines. We do picker before we test machines. None of these are handling ramp. Oh, right, that's handled there. I don't see why picker would not rotate. Okay, let's try to rotate it and step. Oh, because of that. That's why. Let's do like I said, I'd like to make this all table driven instead of using these range tests anyway. So yeah, we want to add some kind of mark, division mark there, so that if you do pack them up this tight, they don't look like one single thing. But otherwise, that seems okay. So that's the to do. That's done. Reorganize block IDs. All right. So we're back to this list. Okay, so I want to do 90-degree turns. So then you can actually construct same things. So I need new art, and we're gonna have to modify the voxel render. Yeah, the plan is I'll have a picker that's a short picker and a picker that's a long picker. And then if you need two inputs, you put down both. You know, the short picker picks from the near side and the long picker picks from the far side. What am I making? Oh yeah, build art. So let's open the existing one. And let's just take one at a time. I need to figure out the right way to duplicate these in the future. I need to crop that. Okay, so make a new layer. We want a circle. Let's use an actual circle tool. With this color. Like that. Then we want a new layer here. And we want gray. And we want that to go. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. Why is the alt? Oh, I must have screwed up the other one then. Get that to match that. That doesn't match. That's not circular. Oh, because I accidentally did that once. Wait, is the anti-aliasing not on? It's not. Have to redo the blue one. So shift to make it a circle, alt to make it from the center. Or from the... Why does that not match? Why is that not an that circular aspect ratio? Alright, fine, I'll just do it by hand. Voila, doesn't quite work. There we go. Oh, because that's why. It's drawing from that. So that's correct. I want it to... No, that's not correct. It should go... Yeah, it should just go like that. That's correct. All right. Delete this layer. Do this again. Shift, Alt. Okay. Okay, and then another layer. Filled. There we go. So that lines up, and it's circular. Maybe it doesn't want to be exactly circular. I don't know. It's just a starting point. Let's get that into a new layer. Now if I move that to there, that should let me rotate it. Yep. Okay. So let's duplicate that. And do what I just did. It needs to wrap around, so it actually needs to be 45. No, it doesn't have to. Well, yeah, it does have to. It would be weird if it didn't, probably. That looks kind of dumb. It was because it's off center. Why can't I delete those layer? Oh, because I'm in mode. Delete the layer. Push this left. Let's do that. Okay. Duplicate layer. Do the thing I just did. Maybe the arrow itself needs to be curved so that this doesn't look so weird. Like that. Maybe it'll make sense when they're animated. I guess we'll assume that and try that. And then let's try flattening them. So duplicate, flatten, duplicate. Rotate that as a pair. Like that. original, not the rotated one. Twice, actually. Yeah, they may all need rotation, and we can hopefully come back and fix that. So now this one rotates to like that. And this one rotates to that. Okay. So the idea is that you rotate between, oh, got to not, okay. So that's the first frame, that's the second frame, that's the third frame, that's the fourth frame. So, don't need this background anymore, and we can flatten these layers. And we don't need that layer. All right, so that's layer 90 PSD. And then what just whoops, okay, never mind. So then save for web, PNG 24, or JPEG, actually. Let's stick with the JPEG for these. Save figure 90, 01, JPEG. No, 00. That should be 00. Data machinery name 91 90.00.jpg. Okay. Then that. That one's a 1. And that one's a 2. And that one's a 3. Yeah, you're probably right that they do all need to be rotated a little bit. That does make sense thinking about it. Like I lined it up flush left, but I probably need to line it up halfway left and then start the rotation there. And that would explain why they look off center. I mean, they're never going to point. I could add a center line and that would make it very clear that that was wrong. So yeah. But then it's off the edge and rotating is pain. Oh, and this is still all wrong because the scale is wrong. I have to replicate it 4 times still. But that's okay. I'll just use the texture scale for now. So, and there's no facility in voxel render for animated textures like this, so I'm going to have to add one. So the main, and what we're going to do is we're going to do let's just do it down here for now. What's that? Probably never going to go double digits. I don't know why I did that. Okay, that's going to load them into the totally wrong slots, though. How do I want to do this? I do actually need to put them in specific slots, thinking about it. I need a better way to program this, but let's just do this explicitly for now. So that one has to go somewhere else for now. So then let's say we put it every 32, every 16. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's every 16. So that one has to swap down. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's one too many. Isn't it? No, I miscounted. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. The reason I'm spacing them out like this is because the way this is going to animate is by doing math on them rather than looking them up in a table. So they need to be spaced out evenly. Let's see, how will that work? If we end it with a mask, and test it, it's 0. It's always that's gonna force texture 0 to always animate. That's okay. We could live with that. All right, so we renumbered a couple of the textures. We renumbered sand and gray marble. I don't think we were using gray marble, but we're definitely using sand. So that is now 16, 24, 25. Sand is now 25. Sand is now 25. Nobody else should be using 25? Yep, looks correct. Okay. Set block type texture, BT conveyor 90, 21. That's the side texture for all of them. And then tech1 for block type, BT conveyor 90 is 0. Okay. BT conveyor 90. Let's do that. So if there's an existing range test from there to there, it'll still work. That now means this doesn't work. So I'll do this as 40. Up, low. Tech 1 for block type. BT conveyor. That's 22. BT conveyor 90. 0. Okay. Now I need to make the loader handle the case where you passed in 0. It's the scale. If textures of I dot scale does not equal 0, then we try to load it. Otherwise, we don't even try. it would just do nothing. No, it would hit assert 0. That's why. Okay, so okay, so now we can load the texture. We need to set the rest of the block type for this. It's a solid block. Doesn't use v height. Texture scales. We had to fix that. Scales of 0 equals texture scales of 16 equals texture scales of 2 equals texture scales of 64 or 48 equals 1.0 f. Because they're all being set to 1/4. Okay, now we need to be able to place it. We need 2 of them. We need 1 in each direction. I have to go make data for that. Mesh builder. But we'll do that. We'll get 1 working first. But let's name it correctly already. ID right. Right is the one that we implemented. Just go ahead and some of these things I know what they'll be, so we'll set that up already. And what else? Okay, that'll do that. Is that enough to get it? Oh, it's going to break the physics logistics, though. What did I do? Yeah, so let's put that out of the range, actually, so that we don't break the logistics sim. What am I missing? This on char 6 differs in, what's the other one? Opera. Text 1 for block type. Isn't that text 1 for block type? Oh, it's sub I. I forgot that. Okay, so will that let me place them, but they have no functionality? I did not scale it correctly. Where do I set the scales? 1.0 F. I set it right there. Oh no, it's still 256 by 256, so it's getting loaded in and the rest is getting filled with zeros. That's why. So I do really have to go fix it. And I think that doesn't go to my recent menu. No, it doesn't. Delete. Just to get this going. Oh, and this should have a little bit of the beginnings of the next one extending in as well. The part that as much as got cropped off, actually. Okay. Oh, I didn't set the sand up correctly. All right. Oops. Why did that? How is that turning the other way? How is that even possible? How did those get flipped? What? What? How is that? I wonder if there's a bug in this, and because I've been using a symmetric thing, I never noticed. That's actually flipping when it flips the axes. And there might be. Face up, normal. That's the text gen. The problem with making all these tables by hand is I might have screwed them up. I never noticed if the graphics data didn't have the kind of data it needed to expose it. Where's the text gen table? Is that earlier? Yeah, it is. Okay. Default text gen. Okay, the up face was the fifth one. Right, this one. And I flipped the signs of that, but I didn't flip the signs of this. I think. Right, which ones did I flip the signs of? I think it was these. I didn't save that. I'm dumb. And I didn't fix the sand yet. And then return. And then, oops. And then return. Okay, good. Whoops. Turn. And turn. All right. So there's the non-animated version of it. We'll save that. And these are going to have little seams here because it's trying to wrap the textures potentially. I guess we can set them to clamp though, because we are using texture arrays, so we could set them to clamp and it will work. Clamp to edge. Okay, so I need to animate them now. So main load. So we need to go into voxel render. We need a new uniform. Do we have a uniform slot we're not using currently? This is in the fragment program. Uniform, camera pause, fourth value is used for arbitrary hacking. Ambient color, out color. Texture, animation. I actually want those to be, do I have support for non-float data? Gluing table I. Where do I use that? Type back to I. Why is that one IB? I probably do not have that defined. GeoProg uniform 2IB. Oh, I do. Okay. Case SDB Vox uniform text anim table I of 0 equals by 15. What is that? 0x f0. So we're going to mask with that, and if that mask returns 0, then we animate equals anim frame break. And let's do this. Logistics tick shift right 4. And it's logistics tick or logistics frame. Oh, it's not in this file. Okay. Let's do that as text anim offset. Text anim offset. And then in logistics tick, we update that. And then in the shader, okay, we have to add that name. Text anim. Enum at the top. We never set that error. That seems weird. Okay, What's it called? Oh, because we just fill it out. That's uniform type back to I. What is the second thing? The length in bytes? Yeah. The number of array elements. Okay, where are those defaults? All right. Oh, that's very close. So now we have text anim. So somewhere we pick which texture to use. Text1 ID. If text1 ID and text anim dot x equals 0, text1 ID equals 1 ID plus text anim dot y. There's texture animation. I hope. I'm sure I left out some stuff here. I think that was it not compiling. Yep. Operands to and must be integral. I thought they were. And text1 ID is a uint. Textanim.x. Textanim is a vec. Oh, it's a vec2. Is that, how do you do int vex in GLSL? Can you do int vex in GLSL? I can always cast and I can store them as floats and cast them, but I assume it's possible to do this. Variables and constants, that may not help. Data types. IVEC2, okay. Yep. Chat figured it out. Because of the late lag, chat figured it out at the same time I did. Okay, it still didn't work. Insertion failed. Oh, wait. That's not what I want. There we go. Implicit cast from int to uint. Is there a uIVEC? No. There's not a uint type. At least not this old one. So dumb. That one's uint. This one we have to cast a uint. Does this need a u suffix? Maybe maybe it was that one. Oh, except I'm still comparing to 0. Does that need a u suffix? Oh, yeah, it's not. FC style casts. No, of course not. UVEC2. I didn't see that when I was looking at it. Maybe I looked right past it. Compile shader unexpected semicolon, comma, or parentheses. No, it's expected comma parentheses. Okay, so that's just a typo now. Too many curly braces. 1, 2. That looks correct. I mean, not curly braces, parentheses. It's correct. This one is parenthesized. It's missing the closing parentheses. Okay. All right. I think it'll come out now. All right. All right. Yeah, I got to fix up the sand texture. And it's not animating. Okay, let's hard code it rather than use the uniforms. So it's if that and 0x f0 u, then add um, 20 u. Let's see if that puts it into the halfway around state. Yes, it does. That is in the halfway around state. So I'm just not setting the uniforms correctly. X, Y. X should be 0. That one should be 10. Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay, and then there's sand. I keep forgetting to set the sand, so let's fix that. The sand, I did not set to the right texture. So I must have counted this wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay, so this is number 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I think I even said that correctly out loud. I have a vague recollection I did. Yep, and somebody in chat spotted the bug, but I figured it out before I saw it. Okay, did I turn off the animation or something? Let's actually check that it's getting different values. Text animal offset, it's cycling through different values. Okay, are we actually uploading it? Vector 2i, SVL 2i, uniform lock, array length, data. Ah, we're not sending data, that's why. Whoa, there's a bug. Okay, now it's animating it. Lots of stuff it shouldn't animate. And it's animating it. There you go. It looks totally non-smooth, totally mismatched. The arrows are different size. And the lack of smoothness definitely kind of sucks. But I don't know how many of these I want to generate, since I have to flip them too. But I should probably fix that. Nobody else should be in those slots. Why would that happen? Equals 0 u. Then we offset. Otherwise, we don't change it at all. So how would those other ones change? Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I know these must be on 16s because they animate correctly. So why would the other ones animate at all? I'm testing the wrong thing. If I test 0x f0, then anything in this range will be flagged. This is all getting masked out. I want 0F. I want to mask with the 0F. Then why did that one work? Why did the F0 mask work? Oh, because it's, I don't, yeah. All right. All right, sorry, I have fixed the disco trees. All right, so there you go. So probably what I want to do is actually shrink the arrows on the other ones to a more similar size. And obviously the timing doesn't match at all. But I mean, the whole thing is that it doesn't actually make physical sense because the inside is going to move really slowly and the outside is going to move really fast. And the animation probably needs to reflect that somehow. So, but I think maybe we'll just leave it as it is for now, change the timing a little bit, and work on the physics for it. Where was that? The animation, it's in logistics. So make them go slower. It was choosing which textures to do wrong. All right, that's good enough. These are placeholder art, whatever. So I need to do the ones facing the opposite direction, and I need to do this. Yep, there's no physics for them yet. Okay. So let's save that. And actually, let's add another one on this side. Like that. So test going around all the corners. All right, save that. All right, there we go. So let's do the opposite side. Yeah, I mean, the disco trees is a good example of like the giant space of things you could do with this thing that just like you just gotta think of doing it. All right. And then we got to load those. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I see. Okay. There's 8 and 8. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. And then let's change that 9 now to the left. And then I set up at least some of this code elsewhere. I don't know if I set up all of it. Let's try it. Getting slower and slower to load. All right, there we go. Save it. Okay, now for the physics. Okay. So logistics.ca. Belt runs. Do they have to be belt runs? There are weird asymmetric belt runs where one side is going to be slower than the other side. Or should they just be machines? Should they be machines that... The problem is that it'll break the flow because of the lack of the topological sort. Or should they be machines that get topologically sorted? That might be the best. I've talked about that before. It's a mess to integrate them into the topological sort, but it might be cleaner because they just need totally different data than a belt does. Although they still have some of the same aspects. They'll still need last slot filled, next tick. They'll still need a mobile slots count. Their length will always be 1. They can have a target ID and an input. I guess they better just use belt run. Now we need another 2 bits because we have 2 cases. What have we got? We're using 7 bits. Len is limited. Dur is limited. All of these are limited. The question is, which ones do we access the least? So we can afford to steal the bits from them. Target ID is limited. Let's look at belt tick and see where we spend our time. Access BR Len once. Access it again. We're using the X off and Y off here at all? We search for X off, Y off, and dir. Is there a type for it? No, there was no type. Mobile slots is max of 255, so Len can't actually be more than 6 bits. I said 5, right, because straight away it's 5. What do we do here? Right, okay, so now we've set the turn. We have the turn flag. We need to set it. Again, it's much like the ramps. It's always going to be 0 for normal belts. And now what? Okay, so now we have a giant mess of actually dealing with turns. So again, we want to prevent pickers from interacting with turns. So first we have update chunk where we decide got belt ID, no ramp. So no ramp. So and CRBR J dot turn. Okay, and then if a belt is dumping out onto it, somewhere we have this same logic for ramps. Don't feed from conveyor ramp that points to side of ramp, and don't feed to side of turn. So if it's turning, it has to be facing the outgoing direction has to be the same. Okay, wait. If the target is turning, so if the target is turning, then we can only do it if we line up with it. Else, we can't do it, right? No, if it's not turning, we can always do it. Well, we can always now do this test. So what this amounts to is actually not turning, well, turn equals 0. And if turn is not equal 0, then this must be true. Okay, so now we will only feed into the back side of a turn. We won't feed to the side of a turn. And we can't feed into the front of a turn. That's fine. And pickers we prevented from interacting with turns at all. Okay, so now all we have to actually do is propagate the data. And that's going to be really gross because it's now asymmetric. So it's just going to need a new set of logic for updating, for ticking rather. Okay, what do we do if the conveyor why is this an else? This isn't right. We want to do that except in that case. We can actually do that up here. Yeah, we'll leave it. It's a little weird because if you do an else, it's actually not quite symmetric, but else if old type close equals. Okay, yeah, so it's a similar to this case. If it's just a rotation, we want to preserve it. If type screen equal bt conveyor 90 left, or type it's bt conveyor 90 right. Okay, I gotta pause a second to catch up on chat. Yeah, I was doing all-nighters. So I can actually still do all-nighters that aren't all-nighters. I can do a 24-hour ish thing. But once I hit the 24-hour thing, I hit a wall. It's okay. That's a side tangent. I was curious what your guys' things were, since it's a thing I commented on. Okay. So if it's this, so I want to do the same kind of logic here, which of course still has the @to do to actually preserve them. So why do these need their own functions? I don't remember. Oh, just because they need to set. Yeah, it's fine. We'll go ahead and do the same thing for turns. In fact, this doesn't actually check that it's a ramp, so we can say return. And instead of int z, it's int turn. And we set turn. And we set that to 0. Create turn, destroy ramp return. Where was that function? Here it is. So now destroy ramp return. Old type. Our old type. Else. Ramp return. And left, okay, clockwise, X, Y. So if we're adding to the rotation, the left turn is 1. Return, X, Y, Oz. Okay. That should just be the same shape as that. It is. Do changing. Turn types. Now, if you try to flip actually between turn types, there's a problem anyway to preserve the items that are on the belt, because in one case you have a ton around the left side and none and one or small number around the right side. And when you flip it, you don't actually want to flip the objects to the opposite sides necessarily. You'll get garbage in there. So I mean, there's some gameplay things there. Like maybe, like I need a system that when you destroy a belt, the contents go to your inventory, and so then we can just decide which cases should the stuff go to your inventory, and which cases can we preserve it on the ramp, on the belt. Okay, so now we've created some belts with the turn flag set. We've prevented a bunch of cases. Okay, so then we want to find the output for this belt. So we're going to go in here and we're going to look at face dir, and that's wrong. Int output dir equals b dir. That's what the default, and then plus b turn. Let's just call it out dir. Okay, so that's where it outputs to. We need to mask that by 3. And then we need to find what's in that cell. And if we find something and we said it's output, that's all correct. Maybe we're just going to be able to do this outdoor math everywhere. I think that's just right. This has to compare to outdoor. And this has to compare to outdoor. Wait, wasn't this redundant? Oh, there's an or there, right. Okay. Oh, and this one too. Okay, that's interesting how that ended up being. That just ends up being, if this has to be true and this has to be true, then obviously it's either just the outdoor is matches or one of these two. No, and. It's an and, right? So either this matches or both of these. I believe that's what that added up to. Which I think makes sense. If it lines up, then you can always do it. That's what the first test is. It lines up. Even if they're on different heights, even if they're, even if the input or the output is ramped, even if the input or output is a turn, as long as the output points in the same direction as the input, which dir is really in dir. If they don't match, then we require that it be a straightaway feeding a straightaway. So you could have a ramp turn, right, not a straightaway feeding a straight. We just require that the target be a straightaway that's flat. Okay, which that all seems right. All right. Turn. So there's definitely still a bunch of specific stuff we have to do. I'm just trying to get the update chunk, make sure the update chunk works. Okay, so update chunk works. The actual moving on the blocks is going to have to change. Logistics belt tick. So this logic needs to be almost all different. And this logic needs to be different. And somewhere we recompute these, and that needs to be different. All right, so where is it that we recompute them? I don't remember. From belt. Add to belt. What is it called? Add to something. Remove item from. Okay. Add item to belt. Right. And here we update the mobile slots for the side. So this has to be totally different. But we never add item to belt if it's a turning one. We only input from the back. So this is picker trying to add the item to the belt. That's the only place it tries to do it. It's the picker. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that one. Mobile. Compute mobile slots. Who does this? That's belt merging, which we don't have to worry about. Create belt we don't have to worry about. Why would create belt? Oh. Because that merges, yeah. Okay, we don't have to worry about that one. All right. So the turn, I think the only thing I have to do is that one function. The big function that basically I have to rewrite. It has to work totally differently. Okay, so the whole problem is that the belt stores each, for a belt run, if it's n units long, it stores 8 n items. And they're interleaved. There's a right item, a left item, right item, left item. That's the items on the thing. And so, for a single block, there's 4 on each side. So it's an 8 long array. And I'm just using that existing code, so it's creating an 8 long array for my turn. But I don't have room for 4 on each side. What I maybe have room for is 1 on one side and 7 on the other, or 2 and 6, or it doesn't even have to add up to 8. It could be a smaller number because I'm just going to handle it separately anyway. But none of that code is written with the idea that the sides are asymmetric that way, because it's all assuming they're interleaved. So I need to de-interleave them for this case. So I could try to de-interleave them for every case and handle this all differently, or I just special handle this one. And that's okay with me, because I had to share most of the code, so I'll only have to do this tick, this belt tick, logistics belt tick. So who calls it? What is this doing? I have no idea what this code is doing. Sort order. What the heck is sort order? Oh, it's detecting the selected block, the selected belt. That's right. Why it calls that sort order, I don't know. That's like a totally wrong name. I don't know why I need it either. Is that used to sort it against some other things in the sort order? I don't know. Excuse me. So we just have to write a new version of this code. Oh, and the visit loop maybe needs to know about the direction changes. How does the visit stuff work? Oh no, because we store that, we cache that into the input ID stuff, so that was all already handled by that code. If br arrow turn logistics belt turn tick br. And let's do this. Let's try it this way. Still have to figure out how to render that. And it always connects. No, we do allow a turn to dump onto a. We do allow a turn to dump onto a straight, so we still need all this logic. Okay, so int left start, left blend, right start, right blend. Br turn 1 greater than 0. Let's be more clear about what that flag means. If it's turning left, then the left start and the right start is 0, the right end is long side, left start, not end, left blend. Left start is right when, left when is short side. If it turns the other way, then it's the opposite. Right start is 0, right when is short side, left start is right when, left when is long side. Okay. Then, assuming the target is not empty, then we check the target. We're not actually checking whether we have an item here. I guess that's okay because it's already 0. So len -2, that was the old right side. 1. Here I do want right end. Okay, so then this is right end -1. This one is left end -1. I wonder if this is going to turn out that I could use this kind of variable to fix up the, to make it share the code. Although since they're interleaved, the -1 doesn't work. But if they were non-interleaved, I could make this work. Maybe I should. But partly I'm now still relying on the outputs ahead being a straight, which they don't have to be. If the output is another turn, this is wrong. And the output on the other one is wrong. The output of a straight onto a turn is wrong as well, because it'll output into 0 and 1 instead of, as it'll still assume the outputs are interleaved. So we need to handle that case still. And we'll come back to it. This is still correct. The end point is, we need the out. Having Q about the fact why the special thanks for the quick credits. I gave him some pointers to the way I did texture mapping math. And I used something related to that. Where you don't store texture coordinates at every vertex. You just store a plane that is the plane of the texture projection. And you can do the math to figure out the final per pixel texture coordinates directly from the plane rather than first computing vertices. So when you clip, you don't have to do any texture coordinate processing while clipping. It's kind of the main advantage. And the details of that are in the PC Game Programmers Encyclopedia article that I wrote a long time ago that has a typo in it, in the math. Well, it doesn't give you the derivation, it just gives you the final formulas, and it has a typo in the final formula. Right, so now we have outdoor, wait, turn doesn't make any sense anymore. Turn is, well, yeah, it's still turn. It's not turn, it's the relative facing, which is what it always was. But when I didn't have turning types, that didn't seem like a problematic name. Now it does. Okay, so This is always 1. That's just to compute that. We're always dumping out to... Okay, right. So this is the only one that has the case where it's dumping onto a turning one. Handle output to turning belt. We have to do that in the other one as well. But if it's the relative facing is not, then we were required that this has to be a straightaway. So we don't have to worry about anything on the TB side, but the BR side we do have to care about still. So this is len minus 2 is right and minus 1. I thought about making these plus 0s, plus 1s, and minus 2s and such be explicitly left and right. Make a define right 0, define left 1, and clean those up so this would all be explicit. That would make this work easier because it would be right there. Left end minus 1. That should all be okay. One was more than 256, I believe, was because it was 2 different bugs. At least one of them was a missing closing quotation mark. Something like that. They were all little typo-y kinds of things, not like he was totally wrong about something. So then this is similar to that. So this becomes outdir. And the len is still the right length, so if we did try to merge this code, it would work. So maybe it is mergeable. Oh, right, no, because the interleave problem. Yeah. Left end minus 1. Left end minus 1. Left end minus 1. Right end minus 1. Right end minus 1. Right end minus 1. All right. Did I leave out a step in here somewhere? Item base, item pos, that's all talking about the target, and the target is a straight thing. So that's all okay. Okay, then this is all wrong. So this needs to go j equals right side, right end, minus 1, j greater than or equal right start, minus j, right end minus 2, so j plus 0, j plus 1, then we copy it forward, unless we don't even need the plus 0s at this point, and then j. Right, so we move the object forward, and then we repeat this for the left end, the left start. And then if they allow the frontmost to move, then this is right len. Otherwise, we can do this loop again, right end minus 2, minus 1, right start, find the first empty slot, j is less than right start on 0, else j minus right start. Let's actually do that explicitly. Let's do this as right len minus 1 to greater than or equal 0. So clear right start plus j. Then this is just back to what it was, j less than 0 colon question 0 colon j. I think force mobile is dead still, so I could delete that. Do I want to change this one to also work that way? No, because all of these are doing lots of referencing to j lots of times, so I'd have to add left start lots of times in here. And we don't do anything with the value of j other than index with it, so yeah. So this one is left line minus 1 left start plus j. Voila. Okay. Then right start, left start. Yeah, I'm sure that's worked. That's everything I needed to do. Did I delete force mobile? I think I deleted force mobile from this one because I know this is redundant. Let's leave it in just in case it's not redundant, so I don't have to debug that as well. I don't need that len anymore. That should be left len, left len. Yeah, I'm sure I've forgotten something here. Besides the thing that I said I had to come back to. Okay, the startup is taking long enough. I definitely have got to do that soon. Okay, so here they come. I expect the animation to be wrong, but yeah, no, they just dumped out on the wrong side. That one's just totally broken. That was the wrong one, went to that side. Oh, that one, oh, it got backed up. It's bumping it out to a place that doesn't exist. And then when it fills, that's pretty weird. But this one won't do it. So I don't know how it's allowed to go one further. I don't know what memory it's using to do that. I don't know where that memory is. All right, so we probably are getting added to the training belt correctly. Oh no, this thing is trying to output to a training belt right at the very beginning. And that's not right. Right here. Target left start equals TB arrow turn question mark. If TB arrow turn 0, then the left start is, if it's turning left, then the left is after the long side, else it's short side. Otherwise, it's at 1. Target left right start is always 0. So that would explain why the left stuff kind of blew up, because it was going to the wrong place. And we do expect it to render wrong. But I don't know why that made the back up and then turn. That doesn't make any sense. Unless I have right and left backwards. Unless left is 0 and right is 1. Maybe that would make that happen. Okay, it makes sense that this goes a long way, but then it doesn't pop over. I don't know why it animates wrong when it goes a long way. That might just be the animation thing. Right, so this side is 6 long. This side is 2 long, so it should animate halfway about. Yeah, that's about right. So we just have to change the animation route. Maybe it should only be 1 long. It's allowing them to switch sides. That doesn't make any sense. I still don't know where that... Now, where's that storage coming from? It made sense it was only one side, but it should have only ever used these, rendered into these spots. It should never have used those spots. But I don't know what to break on to catch that going wrong. Let's stagger these start things so that we don't get so confused by them. And what right, splitter or picker, I mean. All right. So what's supposed to happen is that the left one should just expand out to a 6 long thing that extends out. But because it doesn't render that way, it should alternate between the sides. Yeah, it should zigzag back and forth, but it should only go to the end of that thing. Why can't it go that far? That doesn't make sense. So yeah, the alternating does make sense, because we'd have to fix the animation, because it thinks it's interleaved, so the movement doesn't do the right thing. But where is it moving them to? So that's part of this code down here, where I move them. This stuff. Right end to right start, left end to left start. How can that move further? All right, let me fix the animation, because I can't tell what's really going on very well unless I do that. But I'm not going to fix the animation to make them turn. I'm just going to fix the animation to deal with the sides being non-interleaved. If B arrow turn does not equal 0, then we have to do something special. Let's do this as equals 0, actually. Else. Int left len equals br turn b turn grade 0 colon 1 is left turn, short side, colon long side. Right len equals short side plus long side minus left len. It's just the other one of the pair. And we just let them all start where they normally start. And we just want to split this loop into 2. And we don't need to worry about the Z changing, because it's never a ramp. And now this one only uses x2, and this one only uses x1. And then this goes from 0 to this is the right side. this is the left side. And we do this. Sure. It doesn't curve. It will extend out past the thing, but it won't be interleaved, hopefully. Nope, it's still switching sides. Why would it switch sides at this point? The right side is 0 plus E. The left side is right len plus E. Should be correct. Mobile slots, not times 2, just like that. These are items of 0 plus E, and this explains why one of them was shrink black. I missed this reference. But I bet they're still going to do some kind of jiggle, and I don't know why. Okay, it looks like I just have the sides backwards. They get so far in before it switches. And this is still piling up more than 6. I don't know why. There should only be room for 6. It should only extend out to there. Let's see what happens when they back up. Yeah, I mean, somebody is still treating them as interleaved or something. Am I sure I'm rendering this? Yeah, I am hitting this path. There's no times 2s in here anymore. There's no times 2s. So why would it behave as if they were interleaved? Did I get these consistent? Where did I do this? It's up here. Left len is short side if B turn is greater than 0. Otherwise, it's long side. That looks consistent to me. Left start is always right len. Right start is always 0. Yeah. Excuse me. I don't know. What am I missing? What would cause an interleaved kind of behavior here? Do I call it, then do I return, or does it run at both of them? It runs both of them. That was a good example of my classic debugging thing. I just suddenly think of a way it could go wrong, and I check, and it's going wrong that way. All right, so they're both being put onto the same side, which is wrong. And it's not going 6 units before being put over. And then the next one breaks anyway. But this was an unrotated one, so it's the first one to debug. Okay, so we shouldn't output the frontmost. BR items, left end. TB should not use left start. That's only supposed to be for BR. BR gets it, TB doesn't. Because we're not handling outputting to a turning belt, from a turning belt to a turning belt. We are trying to handle outputting from a straight belt to a turning belt. Okay, but that might be what the bug was, or part of the bug anyway. Okay, and then this says we're still to doing that. It first, I thought I added this. Maybe I added it somewhere else. Left target left start equals TB arrow turn question mark arrow turn greater than 0 long side colon short side, no, short side colon long side. This is, I need to make this a function. I keep computing it everywhere. And otherwise, it's 1. Okay, so this maybe will feed on correctly. Okay, so it's not quite right. The animation is still kind of wrong. But they're jumping to the correct side. They don't seem to be taking the correct different lengths of time. Or do they? They're spaced like that, pretty much evenly spaced, and here they're pretty much evenly spaced. So yeah, they're not taking different lengths of time. So I don't know what that is. And they still don't work once it's rotated one. They only work on the straight one. The unrotated one. Okay, so that's part of this. That's feeding it to the turn. TV0, TV target left start. Should actually be doing the right thing. Assuming I didn't get this math backwards again. I did. Okay, and then the question is why does the next time it tries to output it not work? Not just this one, once it's rotated once. The target is not rotated. So that comes out 1. Oh, because I put this in the wrong one. Excellent. I did this in the wrong place. I was going to save this one for later, and I didn't do it all the way. With it. Just got to paste that code to the other one to make sure they're consistent. Nope, but they were. All right, I'm sure it's still broken. I didn't change enough here. Okay, there. Now they're changing their relative timing. And then they still break once it's turned. Okay, so this is what the animation is all fixed. I mean, not until I do the real fix for it. The 2.6 thing is maybe wrong. That it's taking way too long. I suspect it needs to just be 1 on this side, and then this one maybe is 5. How long is that curve? You have This is 1, this is 1. So the full thing would be 2, radius 1, circumference is 6, etc. Then a quarter of a sixth. So it's about 1.5. So it would be about 6 around. But it's inside a little bit, so 5 might work better. So maybe it's going to be 1 and 5. But we'll leave it as 2 and 6 until we get it working, and then change it to 1 and 5. Okay, so why, once it's rotated, is this wrong? Why does it not output once it's rotated? Outdir, br dir plus br turn, and 3. That seems correct to me. Well, let's see what relative facings we get. They should all be 0, I think. Yes, they are all 0. So why would this not work if it were rotated some? It's always through this path. What would it do? What would do that? How would this work in one direction and not another? And where is that stuff accumulating when it doesn't turn? I still don't know. Am I doing mobile slots correctly? Yeah, I am. Okay. What could cause that to be rotated? Even though, or not rotated, even though relative facing is 0, it doesn't do anything. How could that happen? Because it's finding the wrong target? How do we get the target? We call get target chunk. So that's the one that we've cached. So are we caching that wrong? Oh, we use br dir. Equals br dir plus br turn. But the input chunk is okay because that's always straight. It's always using the input dir. All right, maybe that's it. Still confused what it was accumulating those things in, but whatever. Nope. Dang it. Use outdir, target chunk. When we compute these, we're doing this stuff right when we compute these. We have a belt, we compute an outdir. We check that the belt start dir is the same as our outdir. If its start dir is the same as our outdir, then we set it as an input. Because that's the part that's actually failing, is pulling the inputs, I think. Oh, where does that happen? Wait, how does that work? Oh no, we just use the inputs to sequence in the correct order. That's right. That's used for the global thing. how many lines of code are we at now? 1762. So we did not go anywhere near as fast as the first day, but hey, that's how it goes. And we deleted some code and etc. Well, what? What? What could cause this? I already found one thing that could cause it and fixed it. It wasn't the thing. For some reason, these are failing. But I can't break because I have too many things. I guess I could not load the things and make a simpler test case. Oh, that's in the wrong direction. We'll worry about the lefts in a second. That's what just triggered an assert there with a left. But we'll come back to that. That's one thing at a time. Okay, and then okay. And then if we do hack, I didn't give it anywhere to output to. It's not trying to output to it. Oh, no, that still happens when I tried to delete one. Oh, it's just that. All right, so and then we put a thing, and we need to turn that around. Whoops. How was C null? I don't know, but it was. And then another of these. Oh, it's because I have a thing that's not connected to it. No, but that path should happen as well. That's not even where that actually should be. That's lying about where the thing is, because that's going to get machine ID. Weird. All right, come on. We're going to conquer this here. We're going to debug it. And then we can get back to actually doing stuff. Why? Weird. The turn. The plinth. The generator. And the rotate it once. Do I want to save this or not? Rotate it again. Oh, I'm not going to break soon enough. Dang it. Tick. Logistics belt turn tick. Nope, it's already full up. Okay. Why is this not hitting this? It doesn't think it's a logistic, it's a turn. Okay, why doesn't it think it's a turn? It's not even simulating that one. It doesn't exist. It's like it got merged into the other belt run. Oh, because I've been creating it. I rotated it. And maybe that's... What is it called? Change block? Change. See? Update block core. 90... Right, 90 left. Left is 1, right is -1. Okay. Destroy it and recreate it. So if we rotate an existing one, we'll hit this case. And then we'll pass in rot, comma type. Whereas the very first time we hit this case, the second time we hit this case. It looks pretty much the same to me. I don't see why the rotated case would be different. And actually, we recreated it rotated. We created it. We're inheriting the rotation from the other one. Create turn. Dir turn. Len equals 2. That's not correct. That explains why there was all that extra storage. Who knows what that was doing? Oh, I didn't put an output for it. All right, let's try loading the old map again. I was looking in totally the wrong place. Nope, no, it's still not turning down there. Even though this is the case I just tested, that did work. But it still looks like it didn't. They're not different lengths, so it seems a lot like somebody somewhere. Somebody is responsible for these, and I don't know who. Who is drawing those? Somebody is drawing these. Here's somebody who was neither a turn nor a ramp, who was in the position where I tried to destroy a turn. Old type was a turn, and yet it claimed the belt that it found. It found a belt there that was not a turn. How would that happen? Let's try deleting that very first thing. Oh yes, the yellow boxes around the belt run. That's a good idea. They're not going to draw correctly for these other shapes probably, but let's just try turning it on. That's what P. So you can see that one connects to that, that one connects to that, and then there's nothing here. Is there a box for this run? Here's the red. I don't see a break in this. It looks like it thinks that belt run extends all the way to there. And here, this belt. Yep, it also seems to include. It seems to be merging these onto the belts incorrectly. Am I sure about this? Do I see a boundary here? Yeah, I do see a boundary on this one. All right, so let's try deleting this one again. So where is the end of this belt run? Yep, here's the end of the belt run. For some reason, this belt run has gotten extended all the way out here, even though it shouldn't ever happen that way. And we're rebuilding it every time we load, so it's not like it's old stale data. We're constructing that from scratch. How is that happening? How are those getting added to the belt runs, given that we don't call those merge paths? We very explicitly don't, right? Is it falling in the range to do I new organization of these? Conveyor, ramp up. Do I like have a greater than equal test somewhere? Update block. If it ramp up low, we push it down lower. Otherwise, that doesn't matter. Update block core. Conveyor, we split it. If it's a picker, we do picker stuff. If it's a machine, we do machine stuff. If it's the old type is a conveyor, and the new type is not a conveyor, we destroy the old conveyor. The new type is conveyor, we force it to create. But we've already split. And This won't trigger anything. This won't trigger anything. If it's left or right, yeah, I don't see how that would ever get involved. Should just create its own belt run. No, I do know how it gets involved. When we try to merge adjacent belt runs, we don't discount these. Merge. The merge is forbidden. The merge is only allowed if it's not sloped and it's not turned. That's the bug. Okay. Whew. All right. And that inside is getting pulverized, so let's add wait, we want it on the inside, not the outside. Right, now only every other one should get eaten. Why does that take so long for it to pop back out after eating one? I think that's a bug. Oh, it doesn't bother popping out. No. The picker should pop back out. This is sitting and munching on it for a while, but the picker shouldn't care. I'll have to look at that. Okay, so now let's fix the animation direction. Actually, let's do this. Just check that, make sure this doesn't break anything. Okay, now we need to make them go around a curve. So where's that render? It's here. It's all just this hard-coded linear motion that I don't really want to do this way. The way it's doing it is all wrong. Okay, so we find the face origin and we offset to the starting position. And the other starting position. Right, that's moving them into the sides. But that movement in wants to actually happen along a curve from the corner, from the face origin, in fact. Oh wait, what does this face star do? Oh, it moves them in from the corner as well. Okay, so we won't actually use the sine function in the long run, but for now, sweep out a curve. At radius this. Well, this is that. It's not actually face star. From once we've set a curve of this radius. Okay, so we want x2 to trace out that curve. We want x1 to trace out that curve. And yeah, this is the starting position so that it connects, does want to be there. And then we want to rotate that 90 degrees from this point. So it's actually not enough radius. So we actually want to do this. Okay, so the origin, let's do this. Origin x equals x1, origin y equals y1. Then 1 plus equals that. 1 plus equals that. x2, y2, and then we want, instead of moving these linearly, we want to move those, rotate over those around the origin. Float sine. Oh, let's just do it in the loop. So, float angle equals E over right len, float right len plus offset. That goes from 0 to 1. So it's actually E plus offset over right len. That goes from 0 to 1. So we want that to be like that. We only add offset. Float ang equals E. If E is less than bubble slots, then ang plus equals offset, then ang equals ang over right len times 3. Okay. I think that's right. Okay, then we need to rotate those points around OX, OY. Man, this would be so much easier if I just made it follow a quadratic Bezier or something. Cubic Bezier. Because how do I rotate around a point? I'd give an angle around a point. Where am I starting thing? So it's x1, ax equals x1 minus ox, y equals y1 minus oy. Then let's see, sine ang, so cosine ang. Equals c times ax plus s times y, by equals negative s times ax plus c times ay, and then finally we go back in the origin. This must be y, y must be y. maybe. Lots of 1. I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah. E goes from 0 to right len. So N goes from 0 to right len. So this goes from 0 to 1 times half of pi. That should be 90 degrees. How do you get how does that become 360 degrees? I don't know. Offset is 0 to 1, right? Maybe offset wasn't 0 to 1. Nope, that is correct. That just makes no sense at all. Okay, let's also, that one's using the wrong coordinates because I cut and pasted it. How does that turn into 2 times pi? Should it go to left line? Yes. This one's to right line, this one's to left line. Oh. Yeah, not yeah, that is 0 and right line. Oh, divided by left line. Yes, you're right. Yep. Okay, it still is computing using the wrong one now, but the inner one is doing a reasonable thing. The outer one is screwed up. The outer one is left line because I did this. Oh, so these don't need initial values at all. All right. So I don't want to actually do a sine and a cosine for every sprite that's on a curving thing, but it'll work for now. There we go. Oh, the ones that turn the other way are totally wrong. They're turning around the wrong corner. That's all. So that's an easy fix. The corner if the turn is greater than 0, then which way do we turn? We're facing east. It's picking the right corner. We want the top corner. which is left from our current direction. No, not Y. X and a Y. Okay, maybe that works. Maybe it doesn't. All right. So assuming this works, I think what I'll do is stop programming at this point. I'll just make a little demo level that uses everything that's been built so I can make a little video and move on, not move on, and then end the marathon. Okay, here comes the turn. Did I do it right? Nope, I didn't. It's now turning around something on the opposite side of where it should be. Okay, so I just need to negate this. Not sure why. Is that the equivalent of going to the other side? +1. If you're going east, you've got the bottom ones. You want to go north? Yes, that's +1. Okay. I bet it works this time. So I need to build something with ramps and more creators and destroyers and T-joints and I need to test curves following curves. So that's I only can build one type of curve. I don't have the ability to build the other type. Nope, they're turning the opposite direction that they should. They're rotating the wrong way around the correct point. So I need to negate the angle as well. If you turn 0 and equal negative ang. And then 9 left. All right, here's the moment of truth. Whoops. Yay, they're turning left now. We don't want to do that. We want to just do that. And then we want to do no, we can't do that. So we do one of these, and then we do that. We do 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3. And oh, no, actually, go ahead and do that how we were doing it. Oops. Oh no, I didn't get to save it. So we just retry. Okay, I can step past it. Save it. Okay, good. Something went wrong. Oops. Ah, that was pointing backwards. That's how that went wrong. Dang it, I keep doing that. Clicking the wrong button. Let's do a save that. And then I need to reverse this thing again, and I can do the clean version of this. Is that destroying every single one that gets through? Yeah, it is, because this only is feeding out. Let me see that. Let me rebuild in release mode. Hopefully no bugs that are release mode only. Compatibility profile is not supported as you're just screwed then. Like, we need to rewrite it to not use the compatibility profile. I mean, I assume that just means that the Linux GL drivers don't support that mode. All the the Windows ones do, but it's letting me use old 1.1 style OpenGL, but still use advanced features. They probably have, you can just use plain old 1.1 GL without the advanced features, extensions and stuff, but all right. So now, fraps. And record. Oh, and for some reason my camera exploded. I have no idea what's going on. I can't see anything. Everything's stuck at, like I exploded to infinity or something. But that's okay. I captured enough. So let me commit the current stuff and push it. So what did we do? And this will be, let's leave this for next time. We turn support turning a degree turn conveyors. 90-degree turn conveyors. Alright, the current stuff is pushed. Alright, so that's it. Oh, except that. Alright. So, here ends the stream, unless anyone has any questions. Yeah, after a certain version of OpenGL, deprecated functions are removed, except if you use the compatibility profile, which the Windows people support, and maybe the Linux people don't. And that's fine. Like that can be part of the project, is to fix things and bring it all up to using non-compatibility profile. But I think I can't use GL begin, GL end if I do that, which means I have to write a GL begin, GL end replacement basically. which is just busy work, so not a high priority for me. All right. So that's the end of the stream. See you next time. People in chat, I'll still answer questions in chat for a little while. Thanks for watching.